One of the complaints that players have had in regards to UFC 4 since the day the game came out is that the controls are a little bit complicated. It's a little bit complex. And this is a very valid complaint because if you guys take a look at, say, John Jones's moveset, if you go to settings in the game right here, actually, if you go to game help and you take a look at view moves, and you take a look at a move like you go to John's kicks and you look for his oblique, for example. Let's try to find his oblique right here. There's a lead side kick, his oblique right there. It's LT plus RB plus Y just to throw an oblique kick. That is a complicated thing to remember. It's not easy to remember. You take a look at something like his front kick, LT plus RB plus B. And then there's some other moves that to actually get the moves to happen, you have to hold down on the button like this right there, the lead leg kick. To get a very specific leg kick from John Jones, you have to hold down on A to actually get the leg kick. To get the rear leg kick, as opposed to the calf kick, you have to hold down the button for the kick to actually happen. For his question mark kick, for example, you have to hold down LB plus hold down B. LB plus the B button, hold it down, press it down for you to get a question mark kick. And then for a move like the jumping roundhouse kick, you've got to hold LB and then hold L and then hold B and Y. Hold it down before you can get a jumping roundhouse. Now, first of all, we got to understand why EA did this. For one, there's some fighters in the game like John Jones and Israel Adesanya and Anderson Silva and guys like Dominic Cruz and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. All these fighters that switch their stances and fighters that have a wide variety of strikes in their arsenal, you do have to represent these fighters. Of course you do. You got to represent these fighters, but you only have a few buttons on a controller. So how do you do it? How do you make sure that John Jones has his regular leg kicks, his calf kicks, his front leg side kick, his oblique, his side kicks to the body, his turning side kicks to the body, his jumping kicks to the body, the wheel kick to the head, the turning side kick to the head, his jumping roundhouse to the head, his axe kicks from both legs, his flying knees from both legs, the knees from both legs, the elbows, the spinning elbows. There's the turning, the spinning back fist. There's a huge variety of strikes in the arsenal of a man like John Jones. And if you want to represent the man correctly, you got to figure out a way to put all of that with these very few buttons on a controller. So on one hand, I definitely applaud EA for thinking outside the box and figuring out a way to do this. But I think there's a better way to do it. And this is not something I cooked up in my head. This is something that has already been done before. It's already been done before by a game we all know and we all love, and that is THQ's UFC Undisputed 3. They've already figured out a smarter way and actually a more realistic way to solve this problem, and that is what this video is going to be about. That's what this suggestion is going to be about. A better way to map all of these strikes to a fighter like John Jones without needing all these complicated button controls. So how did THQ do it? Well, let's go ahead and load up UFC Undisputed 3 and let's see how they did it. Well, first things first, you got to understand that even though a fighter like John Jones has all these moves in his arsenal, John Jones does not actually throw all these moves from the same exact stance. There's some moves that John Jones is more proficient from southpaw, and then there's some moves that John Jones is a lot better at from orthodox. And you'll notice this when you watch John Jones fight. For example, when Jones is in the conventional stance, when he's in orthodox, and he wants to throw his leg kicks, okay? From here, most of the leg kicks you're going to see John Jones throw is the front leg side kick and the oblique. Again, the oblique, like I said, is this kick right here, a side kick to the knee, but from the rear leg. They don't have it in UFC Undisputed 3, so I can't show it. But when John Jones is in his conventional stance, when he's not in southpaw, when he's in this stance right here, and he wants to kick you in the legs, most likely that's where you're going to see a lot of this from conventional. And he also throws his oblique. When Jones is in southpaw and he wants to throw leg kicks at you, that's where you see his roundhouse to the legs. When he's in southpaw, that's when he's very comfortable throwing regular roundhouse leg kicks at you. When John Jones is in the conventional stance, that is when you're going to see John Jones throw side kicks to your body. Side kicks. When he's in this stance, that's when you see teeps to the body, and that's when you also see front kicks to the head. Also, from southpaw, John Jones is very comfortable throwing roundhouse kicks to the body, and of course, roundhouse kicks to the head. From southpaw, when it comes to punches, that is when John Jones is more comfortable throwing his Superman punch. This punch right there. That's when he's very comfortable throwing his Superman punch. The Superman punch from the rear hand and the Superman punch from the lead hand. And when Jones is in the conventional stance, if John Jones wants to throw a spinning back fist at you, he is very comfortable doing that from the conventional stance. So knowing all of this, what did THQ do to solve this issue of too many strikes to map to a very simple button layout? Well, what they did is, when your fighter, if you're using a fighter with a wide variety of strikes in your arsenal, when you are in a specific stance, only specific strikes will become available to you. So like I said, take a look at John Jones right here. From conventional, John Jones is assigned this, the front leg side kick. From southpaw, if you try to throw the same exact strike, that's what you get. See that? Now from here, the same exact button that controls John's Superman punch, if you press that same button from conventional stance, you get this, a spinning back fist. Spinning back fist from the rear hand, spinning back fist from the lead hand. Now if you switch to southpaw and you press the same exact button controls, which is your R1 and L1 plus a punch button, what does it give you? With the lead hand, Superman punch. With the rear hand, a Superman punch. That's what it gives you. Now, from here, if you hold... Move forward, Anderson. Move forward. Move forward. Move forward. Now, from here, from conventional stance, if you hold forward and you hold R1 and L1 and you attempt to throw a shot, what it's gonna give you is a forward moving spinning back fist. Well, hold on. From this hand right here, from the lead hand, it's a forward moving spinning back fist. And if you throw the same exact shot moving forward, it gives you that. That is his spinning elbow. If you go to southpaw, you also get his spinning elbow. And if you attempt the same exact move with the rear hand, it gives you a forward moving Superman jab. So what you get is a situation where the moves that John is able to throw changes depending on what stance that he's in. I believe his takedowns also changes. So shoot a takedown right here. There's a beautiful double leg. Sits him down. Let's change the positions here. See that? Takedowns change. The same exact takedown gives you different results depending on what stance that you're in. So this is how they can change it. This is how they can fix it. You do not need all these button combinations, all these combinations, hold square plus X and triangle plus circle and hold down some buttons to be able to assign these fighters all of their moves. All you need to do is just take a look at how THQ did it. What did they do? They looked at the fighters in real life and they noticed, okay, even though this fighter likes to throw a wide variety of strikes, he actually does not throw all of those strikes from all of his stances, from both stances. With some stances, he's very good at some strikes, and when he goes to a different stance, he likes to throw different strikes. That is how you can do it. That is a smarter way, a better way, a less complicated way, and also a more interesting way. Because then, if you want to learn how to use John Jones, you then have to remember what strikes are available to me when I'm in southpaw with John Jones. What strikes are available to me when I'm in conventional with John Jones. You have to learn that. And then the same exact button combinations will do. We won't need all of these complicated button controls. So for example, you could assign John Jones's roundhouse to, you could say, just spitballing, John Jones's roundhouse is going to be L1 plus X. Roundhouse to the head. L1 plus X. From southpaw, if you press L1 plus X, it gives you a regular roundhouse. And you could say, okay, we want to also assign Jon Jones a question mark kick. So what do? Well, you say, if you want to throw a question mark kick with Jon Jones, you got to go to conventional. So then when I switch to conventional and I press the same exact button, L1 plus circle in this sense to throw the rear leg, rather than a regular roundhouse, what comes out is going to be a question mark kick. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you do it that way, it's going to be easier for players to remember these controls. They won't have to remember a bunch of different controls. All they'll have to remember is what strikes are available depending on the stance the fighter is in. In my opinion, this is going to be a very, very good change for UFC 5. I think it is a change that a lot of people will appreciate, especially newer players, so they don't have to start memorizing all these different button combinations. But that is just my suggestion. If you guys don't like it, let me know in the comment section below. If you have a better suggestion, let me know in the comment section below. I'm going to start doing more of these UFC 5 wish lists, and fingers crossed is that the EA developers will see these videos. They'll find value in the suggestion. Hopefully, they're not too far into the game development that they can't go back and make tweaks. Hopefully, this is something that they can, add to the game. I have talked about this in the past. I've talked about it quite a few times. This is not the first time that I've mentioned this. So really keeping my fingers crossed that it's something that they can actually implement in the game, because it will most definitely make playing UFC 5 just less of a headache. It really will. Anyways, that is it. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like. Let me know what you thought. And I'll see you guys later. As always, stay safe. Peace out.